What's good, y'all? Today we're back with another draft recap. Today we are back with the Cowboys draft recap. This was a very up and down recap for me. Like I liked a lot of stuff and I saw a lot of stuff that I didn't like. And I'm gonna just be honest, that's all I can do, bro. But first, we're gonna start out with the first pick for the Cowboys. We got CeeDee Lamb. I love this pick, bro. This is a perfect fit. Like, when they drafted Zeke at the time, they had a really good offensive line, and they drafted him, and they put him, you know, it's just the perfect fit now. They have a good offense, and they need another receiver. Like, it's just a perfect fit, bro. In my opinion, he's probably the most complete wide receiver in the draft. Like, everything all around, he just does well. Route running, has really good hands, has good speed. I feel like his speed is like, he maintains pace. Like, he's not Henry Ruggs or anything, or, you know, but he runs by people so effortlessly, you know what I mean? But he runs a 4.5, so, you know, that's still good. I really don't have much to say, because I feel like you know, we all know who CeeDee Lamb is, and I feel like it speaks for itself. It's him and Jerry Jeudy was 1A and 1B, you know, and you can choose which one you want is 1A, 1B. So, like I said, perfect fit, great pick. That pick was an A+ in my opinion. Next, we have Trevon Diggs. This was literally the most 50-50 analysis like I've watched out of all of the players I've watched. On some plays, this dude looks very good, and on some plays, this dude looks terrible. I'm gonna start with the good. He makes really good reads, you know, when it comes from like changing his eyes, you know, from going from receiver 1 to 2, depending on what routes they run. He has a pretty solid press. He, you know, real aggressive at the line. He's tall, has good speed, pretty good athleticism. And when it comes to tracking the ball in the air, you know, going up and get it, he does that pretty well sometimes. Now, the bad, it's a lot of times where it just looks like he's just standing there. Like, when he lines up, he's leaning over. He's not really squatting, you know. And I understand because he's taller, you know, he's not really going to squat all the way. But, you know, it just looks like he's just literally standing up sometimes. I don't see him pop his feet, you know what I mean? I just feel like his technique could be a lot better. Like, I feel like he plays with athleticism more than he plays with technique. I feel like he's a better zone corner than man-to-man. He could be better at opening his hips and running. Like, it's a lot of times where I'll see, I guess he's looking for the ball and he'll just like trip, or he's trying to locate the ball and he'll trip. Like, I think they happen like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, I don't know. I think he just has to work on, you know, opening his hips and turning. And the main issue was just holding, bro. This dude, I've done draft recaps for the 49ers, the Raiders, the Bills, the Ravens, and the Steelers. So for 5 teams, I've done draft recaps. Only corner that I could say held a lot was Damon Arnett from the Raiders, but he wasn't that bad. And like I said, he does it smart, and it's not too obvious, but he does do it pretty often. Trevon holds so much, bro, and it does not get called most of the times. Like, this dude, when I tell you, out of all the corners I have seen, this dude holds more than anybody. Pass interference, and a lot of times it just don't get called. I heard that he used to play wide receiver, so he's new to the position. I don't know. Hopefully, like, they really work on his technique and they help him develop as a corner, because I just don't think he's ready to start day one. Like I said, bro, it's a lot of good things. The athleticism is there, but versus like an elite receiver, like I watched him versus LSU. I think it was Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, and they just lit him up, bro. Like, he didn't look like a 1st round pick or a 2nd round pick corner. You know what I mean? Like I said, bro, I just feel like he could work on a lot. He has a lot of room to grow. It's a lot of upside there, but I'm not trying to bash the dude. Like, y'all, if y'all have seen my draft analysis, I don't go in on anybody or anything like that. I just feel like it's a lot that he can work on. That's, you know, that's my personal opinion. Next, we have Neville Gallimore, selected in the 3rd round from Oklahoma. I like this pick a lot. He's fast for his size, good hustle downfield, quick off the line. He uses his hands consistently when rushing, always moving his feet. He has a solid swim move, solid spin move. He uses his leverage pretty well, but for the most part, he's a pretty good pass rusher for a defensive tackle. He's solid against the run, just solid overall. I like this pick. Their defensive line is pretty deep. He has a lot of mentors he can learn from, man. He has Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe at the tackle spot, and I see his development going very, very well. Next, in the 4th round, we have cornerback Reggie Robinson from Tulsa. I could not find any film on Reggie. I really couldn't do an analysis on him, but I looked up his 40. He ran a 4.44. He did 22 bench press reps, which is very good for a cornerback. That's very good. And he is 6'1". So, you know, as far as measurables go, he has it. I've heard that the Cowboys came out and said that they are going for taller, aggressive press man-to-man corners. They already have a lot of corners on the roster now, so they just loaded up with extra corners. I like to see him play and actually see where it goes, because just off of his measurables, you know, vertical, everything he did at the combine, it sounds good. So, looking forward to it. Next, in the 4th round also, we got Tyler Biadasz. If I said that right, I don't know. The center from Wisconsin. This was a pretty solid pick, you know, considering that Travis Frederick is gone. He's an aggressive run blocker. He looks for contact. Pretty good downfield blocking. Like, for a big dude, he has pretty good mobility. When there's nobody there to block, he's always looking for somebody, and he makes pretty good assists. Like, his judgment's pretty good. I saw him struggle a couple times against, like, bigger defensive tackles who had pretty good bull rushes, but it was mainly in passing situations. In my opinion, I feel like he's a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker, but he's still solid overall. I like the pick. I can't really complain about that at all. You can never have too many alignment, and you know, they got to re-up and figure out who they're going to find for Travis Frederick, or find to replace him. Next in the 5th round, we got Bradlee Anae, or Anae. Y'all comment below, let me know how it's pronounced. But he played at Utah, defensive end. Pretty quick first step, decent block shed. He drops back in the coverage. I seen him do it a couple times, and like a pretty decent amount of times. And I mean, he doesn't really come off to me as a cover guy, because he's more of a pass rusher. He has, like, you know, some stiffness to him. Like, he's not agile like a linebacker or, you know, even a safety. But I mean, the fact that he has some familiarity with it, it makes him a lot more versatile. He's real antsy. You see him, like, moving his hands, like, or moving his feet, you know, ready to, like, jump the snap. That's a good and bad thing, because that could turn out to be a penalty, or it could turn out to be him perfectly jumping the snap. I watched film against USC, and both things happened in that game. He was very antsy in that game, just trying to jump the snap. One play he got called for a penalty. He jumped it very bad. And one play, he literally, I slowed it down. This dude, I don't know if it was the cadence of the quarterback or what, but he snapped it literally like probably 0.1 seconds before the center even moved the ball. It was really nice, really nice. But I feel like he's a better pass rusher than run stopper, but it's not really a huge difference of how good he is between the two. I'm not saying he's bad at one or the other, but I feel like he's pretty decent at both. I don't really see him starting because their defensive line depth is insane right now. Like I said, it's the same situation with Gallimore. They got so many people that they can learn from and pick their brains. A lot of vets, a lot of mentors. I feel like down the road, he'll probably thrive. And with their last pick, quarterback Ben DiNucci in the 7th round, I didn't watch film on him. I didn't watch anything. They just signed Andy Dalton yesterday. So, I mean, I felt like it was pointless for me to even look at him, honestly. I never heard of him before. Maybe if it was, you know, a quarterback I was familiar with, I probably would have watched it and let y'all know. But they just signed Andy Dalton, so he's not going to get any snaps, obviously. But, you know, hopefully his career pans out. That's my analysis for the Dallas Cowboys 2020 draft class. CeeDee Lamb, definitely day 1 starter. Trevon, I don't see him starting day 1. Like I said, bro, I'm not trying to bash the dude or nothing like that. I just, you know, hopefully his career pans out and he actually is good Pro Bowler, all pro, you know, like his brother. Neville Gallimore, I see him contributing day 1, a good rotational piece. This dude is nice. He's not going to start, like I said, because they already have so much depth but at defensive line, but I see him definitely playing some type of role. Reggie Robinson, no film on him. Looking forward to seeing him play, because I couldn't find anything besides like a 1-minute clip of highlights. Tyler, possible starter. Bradlee, depth piece. And Ben, depth piece. So, I mean, it was a solid draft. In reality, I feel like they only came out with 1 day 1 starter. They're a pretty solid team already, but still, you know, I feel like the draft could have been better. But appreciate y'all for watching. Comment your thoughts below. I know this is probably a little controversial for, you know, some Cowboy fans, but hey, it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned, and stay blessed.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Yeah. Hey, Hall. Man amongst boys, I walk with the Lord. Gotta be careful what you say, because your tongue is a sword. Why you speaking what I think, and ain't no easy.